A new great father. I trust the ducks, said Gulper happily. If this news came from the vultures, it's time to celebrate. I hope so, said young Skimmer. I don't even remember a time when we had a great parent's guidance. Does it make such a big difference? It changes everything, Gulper told him. A great parent guides, advises, settles disputes. All Bravelands' troubles would be over. He stirred the water's surface with his huge beak. Everything has been in such uproar recently. You'll see, Skimmer, we'll— Gulper, look out! Scoop reared back, flapping his wings. Gasping, Gulper twisted his neck to glance back sharply, then paddled furiously away from the huge, scaly back that drifted toward him. Beating his wings hard, he rose up out of the water, squawking an alarm. But the crocodile did not submerge for a sneaky attack, and it didn't lunge from the water to strike. As the frightened pelicans milled above it in a flurry of white wings, it drifted on, oblivious. Its eyes! Scoop grunted, shocked. Look! Gliding back onto the lake, Gulper paddled warily closer. Scoop was right. Now that it was floating into shallower water, Gulper could see that the croc's eyes were milky and lifeless. Its stubby legs hung in the murky water beneath it, not moving at all. It's dead. He clicked his beak in relief as the crocodile's body bumped into the bank. The pelicans gathered around it, curious. No pelican would mourn a dead crocodile, but Gulper couldn't help wondering what could have killed it. The croc didn't look old, and it was a big one, in what should have been the prime of its life. He risked prodding its hard flank with his beak, but it did not stir. Biggest croc I've ever seen, remarked Scoop, his eyes wide. I'm not scared, crowed young Skimmer, lifting himself into flight. He flapped triumphantly onto the crocodile's ridged back, his webbed feet unsteady. Under his slight weight, the dead croc tilted and rolled onto its back, exposing its pale, creamy underbelly. With a squawk of alarm, Skimmer took off again, but Gulper didn't look at him. He could only stare at the croc's belly. A great, ragged gash had been torn in its tough hide. There were no traces of clotted blood. It had all washed away in the lake, and Gulper could clearly see the cavity within its rib cage. Scoop beat his wings furiously, driving himself backward. Gulper clicked his beak frantically. I've never seen anything like that, he murmured. Around him, his flock bustled and flapped and grunted. He could sense their bewilderment and fear. And no wonder. His own feathers rose at the roots, and his skin beneath them felt cold with dread. Let the coming of the new great parent be true, he thought. So many things are bad now, and wrong. It seemed Bravelands had entered a new and terrible era, and it would take a very special great parent to put it back on its true path. Chapter 1. Skye drew a breath, stunned. She took a moment to gather her confused and scattered thoughts. The air was thin up here, in this shallow cleft at the peak of the stony mountain. The sun was hard and bright and high, and it was all too easy to believe that her eyes were deceiving her. But why would her mind invent such an odd and startling sight? A baboon, crouched in the sacred pool, his eyes closed and his expression blank. Vultures were hunched in a circle around the pool, their black eyes riveted on him. It was a baboon she recognized. Skye blinked, slowly, and tensed. Hesitantly, she extended her trembling trunk. Thorn? His eyelids fluttered, then slowly opened. He gazed at her, a trace of confusion in his eyes. Yet as she stared at him, wondering, her strongest impression of his mood was one of peaceful